Hello, so we have the Club World Cup Championships going on at the moment there, and sorry I should be doing like video by video as I did last year, but it's been a strange tournament because it kicked off in February this month, of course, but normally it happens in December as of last year, but there was other teams that still had to qualify, and they finished their qualifying process for the 2020 tournament in 2021, so it's very strange stuff. And most annoyingly, we didn't even have an OFC representative where I'm from New Zealand. We were supposed to have Auckland City representing us for this tournament, as our competition did not finish. We only got to the group stage before good old COVID situation happened, and they were the only team that got 3 wins out of 3 in pool play, so they were like effectively nominated to go into this tournament, but because of quarantine restriction requirements, unable to fulfill like the 2-week quarantine process in the countries according to our government's protocol procedures and all that jazz. So yeah, we didn't end up turning up for this tournament, so very disappointing, because Auckland City has managed to come 3rd place once before historically. And yeah, last time when this competition was taking place, we had the New Caledonia team that qualified instead. So it's been a couple of years since good old Auckland City was there. But anywho, let's go over the teams that were competing in this tournament. That includes the likes of Dunhail, representing Qatar AFC Asia. They're the host team, qualifying because they won the Qatar League. Meanwhile, we've got Bayern Munich, the Juggernauts from Germany, after winning the Champions League competition. Palmerias from Brazil, representing South America, winning the Copa Libertadores, the competition. Ahly, the African tournament, had Ulsan Hyundai from South Korea winning the Asian Champions League. And finally we got Uanl, representing North America, CONCACAF, from Mexico, winning the tournament. So let's go through these teams and see what they all about. So for Dunhail from Qatar, of course they managed to win by winning their Qatar League division with 22 matches, 12 teams they're playing against. So it's a 22 game season, 16 wins, 4 draws and 2 defeats, finishing up with 52 points, only finishing a single point ahead of Uanl, who could have qualified instead, but they did. So they're a club based in the Dunhail district in the city of Doha, and they won their title on their debut season back in 2009. So a very new club to the scenes, to the world, to Qatar, and of course now to the World Championships there. Then we've got Ahly, 5 consecutive titles, most successful club in the world, founded in 1907. They got 42 National League titles, 37 National Cup titles, 11 National Super Cup titles, 9 CAF Champions Leagues, CAF Confederations Cup, and 6 CAF Super Cups, and 4 African Cup Winners' Cups. So yeah, they know how to do business in Africa, this Egyptian team. So they got 25 titles in total in terms of world domination, compared to Real Madrid, who's got 26. So they finished previous season with 28 wins, 5 draws, 1 defeat in the league, winning by a 21-point margin. In the previous year they won by an 8-point margin, and before that they won by a 20-point margin. So they are just absolutely dominating in Egypt and in Africa. For Ulsan Hyundai, they were founded in 1983 from South Korea. It's the Asia representatives. They were the league champions in 1996 and 2005, 9 times runners up. In 2017 they were the FA Cup winners, also got the League Cup successors, most recently being in 2011, and the Asia Champions League 2012 and also 2020 of course. Uanl, also known as Tigres from Mexico, founded in 1960. Their titles 77 to 78 season and the 81 to 82 seasons, and then they moved on to the Apertura 2011, 2015, 16 and 17, and the Classica 2019 most recently. First time managing to win the CONCACAF Champions League, so well done to them. Meanwhile, we got Palmerias from Brazil, South America. They were founded all the way back in 1914. They've been champions on numerous occasions, 10 in total, most recently back in 2018. Copa del Brazil champions 3 times. And the Copa Libertadores, the South American Championship competition, they won, of course, 2020, and also they managed to do business back in 1999. And finally, Bayern Munich, founded in 1900, they won the Bundesliga 30 times. They're currently on 8 tournament consecutive Bundesliga titles, and it looks like they're going to make it number 9 this season. They won the Pokal Cup competition 20 times, including winning the past 2. They won the Champions League 6 times. They won the Europa League once, the European Cup once, Super Cup twice, and they have won the Club World Cup before back in 2013. Alright, so now we'll go on and see how these sides ended up winning the Continental trophy. So with Ahly from Egypt, in the group stage they finished in 2nd place actually there, so they fought their way back because the top 2 teams qualify from the group to get to the knockout stages. So they had a 1-0 loss to begin the tournament against Ittihad du Sahara, had a 2-1 victory against Ahly, a 1-1 draw against Ahly, 2-0 win against Platinum, also a 1-1 draw against Platinum, and then a 1-0 victory against Ittihad du Sahara. In the quarterfinals, they were 3-1 winners, and on aggregate, a 2-0 and a 1-1 after the 2 leads against Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa. In the semi-finals, 5-1 winners against Wydad Casablanca from Morocco, a 2-0 and a 3-1 win on the aggregate scorelines. And in the final, 2-1 winners against Zamalek from Egypt. Meanwhile, for Ulsan Hyundai, in the group stage in Asia, had a 1-1 draw against Tokyo, 3-1 win against Shanghai Shenhua, a 2-1 win against Perth Glory from Australia, so I would have liked to see one of those sides at least get through, but no good. A 2-0 win against Perth, a 2-1 victory against Tokyo, and also a 4-1 victory against Shanghai Shenhua. And the knockout stages, a 3-0 victory against Melbourne Victory from Australia. Quarterfinals, 2-0 winners against Beijing. Semi-final, 2-1 victors against Vissel Kobe from Japan. And the final, 2-1 winners against Palmerias from Uanl. Meanwhile, for Uanl, or Tigres as they're called, the Mexican team, they went straight into the knockout stages because not as many teams qualifying for this particular competition. So against Al-Azhar from Nicaragua, they started off with a 2-1 defeat, but then a 4-2 win on the second leg got them 5-4 winners on aggregate. In the quarterfinals, they teared New York City apart, 1-0 and 4-0 respectively on the 2 leads. Semi-final, Olympia from Nicaragua, 3-0 winners, and in the final, 2-1 winners against Los Angeles. Meanwhile, for Bayern Munich, they had a 3-0 victory against Red Star, 7-2 winners against Tottenham, 3-2 against Olympiacos, 2-0 against Olympiacos, 6-0 against Red Star, and 3-1 against Tottenham. So whipping apart the competition in the group stages. And then in the knockout stages, also really absolutely smashed the opposition, including a 1-16 victories against my club Chelsea, 3-0 and 4-1, and then beating Barcelona 8-2, and that was just on the 1 league. Semi-final, 3-0 winners against Lyon, and then a 1-0 victory against PSG in the final. And finally, Palmerias from South America, Brazil. They started off with the group play with a 2-0 victory against Tigres, a 3-1 victory against Uanl, 2-1 winners against Bolivia, a 0-0 draw against Uanl, a 5-0 winners against Bolivar, and a 5-0 victory against Tigres to finish things off. And the 1-16 had a 3-1 and a 5-0 victories against Delfin from Ecuador. And the quarterfinals, they played against Libertad from Croatia with a 1-1 draw and a 3-0 victory. In the semi-final, they took on River Plate from Argentina, 3-0 winners, and then luckily for them, a 2-0 defeat in the second leg, didn't matter. And in the final, they took on Santos from Brazil, got a 1-0 victory, a 99th minutes winner, 9 minutes of injury time, and they just managed to squeak past. And they played that match just at the end of January, so very, very recently as well. So far in this Club World Cup competition, we'll go through the results that have taken place. So in the first round, Dunhail, the Qatar, the host, they had a default 3-0 victory against Auckland City, because you know, weren't unable to turn up. And the second round, Uanl, or Tigres, had a 2-1 victory against Ulsan Hyundai, with Gignac scoring the 2 goals, including a penalty kick goal. Meanwhile, Kim Ki-hee scored the goal for Ulsan Hyundai, and so they got the opening goal, but they unable to hang on. And the other game had Uanl, a 1-0 victory against Dunhail, with Al Shahat scoring the match winner there in the 30th minute. In the 5th place match, we had a 3-1 victory in favour of Dunhail. Edmilson, Monteri and Ahly scored the goals. Meanwhile, for Ulsan Hyundai, had Uanl Guam scoring their goal. In the semi-finals, Uanl 1-0 victory against Palmerias, with Gignac scoring a 54th minute penalty kick goal, so it was him to the rescue. And we had Bayern Munich 2-0 winners against Ahly, with Lewandowski scoring both of those goals. So in a couple of days time, we have Ahly taking on Palmerias. We'll go for the odds in that match. So it's $5 for Ahly, $1.57 for Palmerias, and $3.75 for the draw. So this is the Egyptians taking on the Brazilian team. Meanwhile, in the final, we got Bayern Munich taking on Tigres Uanl. $1.17 for Bayern Munich, $6 for the draw, and $12 for Tigres Uanl. Probably going to go with both of the favourite teams to win those matches. But it should be pretty interesting. It's the first time a Mexican team has made the final in this competition, and usually it's a South America European final. But this time, for a change, we have the North Americans taking on the European champions. You know, it is football, anything can happen, and it'd be pretty crazy to see Bayern Munich slip up on this trophy, considering they have absolute domination in recent times against all these other European heavy favourites. But we just have to wait and see. You know, it's a one-off match, and it's in Qatar, so we'll just have to wait and see how that plays off there. Let me know what you think. Comment below, thumbs up, subscribe, and then we'll be back again to give you a match report of the final, and we'll go for all the crucial moments, the goals of the games, and the statistical analysis, what the coaches have to say, and yeah, we'll make it a real big thing for that event there. So stay tuned for that. Cheers.